I need to know you better. The guy, I don't need to know you better, I can do it better. So you see that, again, it's different program. There's nothing wrong, it's not right or wrong, it's just different structure, different program. Men have one idea, very simple idea in mind. And most of the women here know that, right? One. So if you look at men as a box, this is a man, and there is a switch. You know that switch for electricity? It's very simple to understand men. Switch, on, off. On, off. Doesn't matter what it is. Gear, on, off. Sex, on, off. Food, on, off. Football, on, off. Very simple. And women know that very well. They know how to turn on or off the guys. Very easy. Now this is a woman. This is the box for the woman. Right? Okay. Now you have on, off, maybe, come back later, I don't know. There is a light that is going on once in a while. We have no idea why. There are different colors over there. There is some stairs and there is some ladders and this is moving, it's changing all the time. Wow. So, you see, the problem is most of my clients, I mean, I'm speaking about P&G, Johnson & Johnson, Boeing and so on, they are men. So on, off, okay? But they're selling to women. Oh. There is a big disconnect, not the same structure. And I have a hard time to explain to these men that women have a different structure, different way of relating to the world and the universe. You see, so this is what is key here. We have to understand each other, even if we're different. For example, the ideal future for men. I work for GE with Jeff Immelt, General Electric. What is the goal in mind? 10%. The curve going this way. 10% more. And then 10% more. And after that, 10% more. And where do you go? 10% more. Production, increasing production. Women don't think this way. Women are into cycles. Of course, biological cycles, right? So, I don't know yet. Come back later. Let's see what happens. I might change my mood. I won't. I don't want. Maybe. I don't know. Yes, sir. So, it's cycles. For example, we marry a woman. Usually we see this woman, she's very attractive, wow, we want this woman, and so on. Right. So then we marry her, then we end up with another woman. Why? Because she becomes pregnant, and she becomes a mother. Now, a woman and a mother, two different species. The woman, I seduce her, she seduced me, we love each other, we had great sex, it was fantastic. Whoa. Then, boom, she got pregnant, now no more sex. Shower. So the guy, the father, the baby is the priority. Wow. Of course, this is logic of life. Thanks God, we had mothers like that, that's why we're here. But suddenly the guy doesn't exist anymore. Wow. And so you always end up with another woman than the one you married, of course. So this is a structure, nothing wrong with that. You see that mothers have to go through a complete reorganization of everything in life because there is new priorities. So this notion of structure is absolutely key, which means that without being aware, we communicate already a lot of things before we deliver the message, before we deliver the content. Let me give you one simple example. The night of the round table. Can you imagine the night of the square table? Or the triangle table? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, what is the message of the structure round table? Where is the head of a round table? There is no head. Right? So suddenly, you realize that there is some kind of equality among the knights. Because this is a round table. So just the way we already organize meeting rooms is already a message in itself. And when I see this kind of meeting here, I know that I have to give a speech and some kind of performance. This is the way it is organized. When we're going to have questions and answers in a few minutes, you're going to see it's not very easy to have questions and answers. If we were all around the round table, first it would be a smaller group, different structure, and then we would have different interactions. So think about what is the message you're delivering already just by the way you organize. a meeting, any kind of meeting with customers, this is already some kind of a very powerful message that you deliver. Second, if you want to say a welcome to people, what is the structure again? And I believe in the reptilian brain, and I want to give you just a few words about what I call the three brains. We have a reptilian brain, we have a limbic brain, and we have a cortex brain. So there are three levels. By the way, the most of the brain will follow that dimension. We start with the reptilian, and then we have the limbic, and then the cortex arrives later, when we are around 7. So when you speak, there is a structure that is different for each one of these brains. So if you understand the structure of the brain, you can choose to address the right brain for what you want to say or communicate. And we have done a lot of work on this dimension. Very, very powerful. Right? So I believe that the reptilian always wins. It doesn't matter what you do. The reptilian always wins. If you're competing with somebody that is at the cortex and you're reptilian, you win. Let me give you an example. And I hope my wife is not going to resent what I'm going to say. But the first time I met my wife, I think she is very sexy, she's very beautiful. I think, wow, I want her. Right? I didn't have any reason, but I just, my reptilian brain, whatever. Then, she is a woman, she said, not yet. Okay? Delay. Right? Then I understood that she wanted me to love her and her to love me. So I say, okay, I love you. She didn't like that. But then it just happened that after a while, I really fell in love, and we are very much in love. Okay. Then later, I discovered that she's rich. Fantastic. I didn't know that. You see, so my mother should have been happy that I married somebody that is rich, of course. But my first dimension was reptilian. So this is the key element. You want to find the reptilian hot button with the people you deal with. And so, what are the reptilian elements of life? The structure, the nose, smell. I mean, you cannot get a child to eat some food that smells bad. No way. So why? Because the reptilian brain, called rhinocephale, rhino, the nose, that's the nose. The smell is very key, The taste is very key again, right? The taste. And then touching, very, very interesting. So if you want to show a product, I don't know, baby food, and show a mother and a child, you want the mother to touch the child, of course, because you want that reptilian touching. So why do we like a little dog, a little cat? Because it's allowed to touch them, so we can touch. When I meet a nice woman first time, I cannot touch her. Okay, don't touch her, right? But if she has a little dog, I can touch the little dog. All right, so that's okay. The dog is fine. A baby might be fine. I need to have clean hands, of course. But so touching, smelling, okay. Then, if you go to the limbic brain, this is emotion, this is connection, and the time is always delayed. This is seduction. Seduction is in the limbic brain. And so, what is it in seduction? You always keep the door open, but you never say yes. Why? Because if you say yes, you go to the reptilian. So I call that the incomplete gestalt. The incomplete gestalt, and you draw a circle, but you don't finish it. So there's still a place that is not finished. So unconsciously, we feel like finishing the circle. This is incomplete gestalt. We use that in television when you have a program, and before the end of the program, they already present the next program. So then you already have another incomplete gestalt, and you want to see the next program, and keep going there. So this is the middle brain, the seduction. Then there is the cortex. And the cortex is what I call the intellectual alibi. Give me a good alibi to do what I want to do anyway. Right? And so the alibi can be the price, can be the quantity, can be some a logical scientific explanation, which maybe in 10 years are going to prove wrong, but it doesn't matter. Give me an alibi. And this is only an alibi. You know, when they say, red wine is good for your heart, I knew it. I love red wine, I always drink red wine, and then I knew it. So they just give me an alibi to keep doing what I want to do. So this is, again, what is key here. If you understand the three brands, each time you are into numbers, just give you a very simple reference. If you have numbers, you are cortex. If you are intentions, you are limbic. I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you. And if you are into instant gratification, reflex, you are into the reptilian. So now the ideal communication, the ideal structure, or structure marketing, is when you have the three. When you have the three elements, when you can have the reptilian brain, the logic of emotion, and the cortex alibi, is perfect. And I want to give you an example of work we've done where we combine the three structures. This is for Folger Coffee, that was owned at the time by P&G. And what we did is we take groups of people back to the very first time you imprint the structure of what means coffee in America. That was in the US, in America. And what we discovered already there, which is kind of very interesting insight, is the first time you imprint coffee in the US is when you are 2-year-old. 2-year-old. So already the message is when you are 2-year-old, you don't drink coffee. Oh. So your first imprint of coffee is not the taste. What is it? Aroma, the smell. Oh, the nose, reptilian, equals. We are the reptilian brain. Now then, if you realize that when you smell coffee, there is a structure, a reference system that has been imprinted at a very early age that is suddenly activated. And so what is it? So when we did that all over the United States, what we discovered that the structure is, mother is in the kitchen, she is going to prepare breakfast, she loves me, I'm happy, I'm going to be fed. I mean, this is fantastic. All the association about the aroma of coffee, right? And so this is very, very positive dimension, right? So when we developed that into a commercial, we had a young guy in a uniform coming back from the army. Very interesting that this is the army because this is dangerous. You're going to get killed when you're on your army. And he arrives home safe, right? And directly he goes to the kitchen. Because we know the code, which is aroma, we designed the packaging already. That when you open the packaging, you got the aroma in your face. We injected some extra aroma on top to make sure that when you open it, aroma, right? So he prepares some coffee. We never show him drinking coffee. Then the competitors show people drinking coffee. No, aroma. Then mother is upstairs asleep, right? So the aroma goes upstairs, and mother, she is asleep, she wakes up, she opens an eye. We know the word she is going to say. Aroma is home. So she is going to say, he is home. She rushed down the stairs, hugged the boy, reptilian, touching. We tested that. You know, P&G, they test everything 400 times. Huh? People were crying. They were crying. And I said, well, come on, this is just coffee. It was not just coffee. It was reactivating the structure, the emotional dimension. So you have the reptilian brain, absolutely, which is the aroma. You have the connection, reconnection, the space in between, the limbic, love between the mother and the child is back home now. And then you had the price, which was very competitive with the other price, which was the intellectual element. And adding these three dimensions, Folger Coffee was the leader in this category for more than 10 years. And this is just a commodity. Huh? This is just a commodity, it's not special. So when you respect the three dimensions, first you have to understand that there is different structure there. It's not just one structure that works. You need the three. You need to combine the reptilian hot button, the logic of emotion, and the intellectual element. To explain a little bit what I mean by logic of emotion, I'm sure there are some mothers here, all around the world, and it's a global code here. All around the world, mothers will tell me exactly the same thing. I want my children to grow. and I don't want them to.